Jai Gajanan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Herambhai Ekadantine, Svananda Vasine Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. With humble pranams to all Paramacharyas, Acharyas and Gurus, let us continue to study the Jnanasaram, where we looked at the Ekarna mantra, the Rudayam, the essence of the soul, the Atma of the Ekarna mantra in the last session. Today we shall see the Shodashavarana mantra, Stotra. Narada asked, the Ekakshara mantra is of Svananda Ganesh Brahma. O Bhaskara, please tell me about the Shodashavarana Stotra. Surya replied, the Saptavarna Stotra was told by Mahesha to Parashakti. It was popularized by Ganaka. I should tell that to you first. Listen attentively. It is well known that the Ekarnamantra can bestow whatever one meditates upon. So listen to the Saptavarna Stotra first. So Shiva is narrating this to Parashakti, Parvati. Shiva said, Brahma Loka is the support of several crores of universes, which are of 5 types, say the scholars. His own doors open to the largest, to which I bow down. I endeavor to absorb the magnificence of the universe, consisting of innumerable suns, including several galaxies. Broadcast as light from his face, it forms the Twam Pada Brahma. I bow down to Shakti Brahmarika, power behind the roaring sound like burst of clouds. Right of Tat Pada Brahma is the fierce looking Brahmari Shakti with black curled hair, protruding teeth, long tongue, fiery hot and luminous. The support for Shakti extends up to a Yojana, that is 13 kilometers. I pray to the one who has a body hard and crude like a sharpened sword. Shakti, whose support for the head is Asi in nature, filled with desires, dreadful, curly, and heavily matted hair, but graceful with a brilliant face. It shone like 1,000 suns, shining in all 10 directions, extending up to 10,000 yojanas. The head Pita was superlative, having the appearance of a crore suns. To that golden light I sing your praise, O Kamadhaini. Swananda, the palace located in the center of the beautiful Ikshusagar, is a form of Satchidananda, shining like a crore suns and bestowing auspiciousness. The house is studded with a variety of gemstones, giving the appearance of an immense sun, multiplying 1,000-fold. There are dark blue pavements plastered with mosaic encircling the lake of water, shaped like a thunderbolt, which is cooling. The waters quench the thirst like sweet sugarcane juice. With permission of Ganapa, there are creepers amidst the numerous trees where he is seated. There are holy medicinal herbs shining like 1,000 suns. The moon can be seen without any spots. The playful women here are always strengthened by yoga. The flower gardens here remove all weariness of living. In the middle of Ikshusagar, the self-knowing form exists as light in his palace at Swananda. Circular in shape, Chintamani is in the form of an Ekarna Yantra, which is consciousness itself. To that form, I worship. In his own loka of Swananda Patanam, the grand form of the Lord can be seen as an enchanting light, absorbed in his own self. The place has beautiful trees such as mandar, kalpavriksha, and others emitting divine fragrance everywhere. In the middle of the town, Brahmanaspati is found relaxing and attractive. Ganesha is found relaxed and extremely charming as Brahmanaspati in the form of Bindu, devoid of any guna or nirguna. I sing the glory of Saguna Nirguna form of the self-absorbed Brahma. At the source in the center, you create a Chintamani, endowed with 1,000 gem-studded pillars within an excellent throne in the shape of a lotus. In the middle of the lotus, the petals held together by Adi Shakti is a luminous light called Svananda. I worship that light. Tivra, Jwalini, Nanda, Bhogada, Kamarupini, Ugra, Tejovati, Sandhya are with Vigna Vinashini in the middle. The Devi with a filament of lotus tucked behind her and whole body like a red lotus, she blesses with fearlessness. To that Pitha of Shakti, I bow down. In the center of all the seated is Insukhasan with a smiling face like a blossom in spring, shining with a unique brilliance. Juice oozes from the temples on either side of the trunk. The curves of the forehead appear beautiful and shines like fire from the moon and the sun. The crescent moon above the large ears are like winnowing fans. The two tusks placed in between like cranes is a frontal lobe of the elephant from which the trunk, a long nose, is hanging down. His clever head placed between the long ears on either side with three eyes on it, bracelet around the neck, trumpet between the arms, pot bellied, a swollen chest with a low belly, four armed, thick skin, dilating and relaxing into the hips, knees folded, fat thighs accompanied by lotus like feet placed prominently above the hidden ankles around the heels. He is wearing red robes with an orange upper garment. The snowy white sacred thread appears beneath it. Shining like a crores sun, he is seated decked with gems. The gem studded earrings look beautiful with a silk cloth on the forehead. Chintamani has a gem studded bracelet on the upper arm. The finger ring has a royal emblem engraved on it. Gems adorn Chintamani's neck and a chain of diamonds. He has tied the Kati Sutra around his hips. There are anklets of tinkling ornaments studded with gemstones. There are Durva, Shami, Mandar, and other blossoms offered to him. He looks beautiful, adorned with all ornaments, and he has a tilak on his forehead, a fragrant paste, and has smeared his body with red sandalwood paste. He is wearing a garland of red mandar flowers. At the tip of the trunk is a pot of gems filled with all kinds of gemstones. He is carrying a lotus, a hatchet, noose, and a gourd in his arms. He has a smiling face, beautiful limbs, soft and nectarian speech, and is seated with Siddhi Buddhi standing behind. They are fanning him with charming white feathers in white chauris. I chant the Ekarnamantra of the Lord of Svananda. On all four sides of Swandesh are the four Brahmas, taking their stance in the four directions within the Bindu. He is absorbing with devotion everything in the first enclosure, decked with gems like Chintamani and other precious stones. In the north is a beautiful pond within which is Padmini, seated on a white 1,000 petals lotus. 1,000 rays of light are emanating from that lotus. God seated within is encircled by sounds resonating from divine instruments. Smoke from dhoop, deep, and divine incense from the divine flowers fill the place with fragrance. Devoid of chamaras and devoid of play, is Ganeshwara in his yogic form. He is in a state of yoga nidra adorned with all kinds of decorations. He is resplendent like a crore moons. The ornament of snake's moon on the head, thighs shining like pillars, straight trunk, and teeth look beautiful. He is wearing divine garments, has deep eyes and a girdle of crown on his head. He is adorned with a divine necklace of Chintamani jewels. Covered in a paste of divine fragrance, Ganeshwara is truly enduring. I worship his feet along with Siddhi Buddhi. Northwest is the place for Ganapa's play. It is adorned by innumerable gemstones, including Chintamani, a beautiful and enchanting creation. There, seated on the throne, is Gananatha with Siddhi Buddhi, having a red colored elephant face with three eyes, adorned by a moon on the head. All kinds of ornaments adorn him. He has a bright kasturi tilak on the forehead, chintamani jewel around the neck, and clothed in red robes. A kalash with water carrying the nose, axe, and the lotus in arms. He is drawing the Swananda image with the writing hand. Meditating on Swananda will bestow an experience of the being of Brahma. The place of Gadanatha on the southwest quarter is extremely gratifying. The house, created out of several gemstones, including Chintamani, is the form of knowledge itself. With its various decorations, it is very appealing. There, Gajanana is seated on the most excellent thrones, a lotus held by Tivra and others. He is seated in Badrasan and Sindur in color. He has a white crescent moon on his head. To the left, clothed in divine yellow robes, brilliant like fire of sun and moon. He is wearing the bright chintamani around his neck, stringed in ornaments. One hand blesses with fearlessness, while the other he carries the gourd, the whip, and a snake. Embracing Siddhi and Buddhi, he draws them close to him. He is a very embodiment of knowledge, established in the joy of himself. Those on the path of Jnana Yoga meditate only on his Nirguna form. The personal abode of Ganadipa is interesting and located in the airy region. Created out of gemstones like Chintamani and others, he is a bestower of desires. There, Gajavaktra is seated on a lotus throne along with Tivra and other Shaktis in Virasana. He is three-eyed with a crescent moon on his head with a long trunk and a broad chest. He is reddish in color, wearing red clothes. He is worshipping with red flowers, has his body smeared all over with red sandalwood paste, and wears a splendid fragrant tilak. He has a broken right tooth and is decorated with ornaments. His four arms are seen holding the nose, axe, and showing the mudra of blessings. Siddhi and Buddhi are standing close by behind him. He is surrounded by sons, ministers, army, ganas, and other family members. The chintamani around his neck is symbolic and indicative of contemplation on Bindu, representing the Pranava body, which manifests as a fourfold form of this world. Ganadipa, the creator of Jivas, is pleasant in appearance. Seated amongst the Devas is Surendra, god of the skies. Standing in the divine house facing Ganesha like a blue mountain is the shape of a mujak. The Supreme is present within all the four Brahmas as a thief for stealthily enjoying all pleasures. The arms, neck, back, and legs are all adorned with jewelry. Peacocks, lions, horses, elephants, and swans. They ride the planes, chariots, and vehicles. They are all assembled there. I meditate on Mushaka, who is the vehicle of Brahmanaspati. In the second enclosure on the east is the treasure house of the Lord, where Vakratunda Gajanana is seated on a throne. He has a crescent moon on the head, three eyes, a broken right tooth, a nose and gourd in two hands, and showing the mudra of blessings in the third, and a modak held in a vessel in his fourth hand. He is wearing red robes and a beautiful garland of red flowers. Behind Bindu Brahma are Siddhi Buddhi. To Vakratunda is continuously engaged in the play of creation. I bow down. On the northeast, he is seated royally on a divine throne. He is wearing divine clothes, adorned with divine ornaments, and sporting the divine fragrance sindoor on his body. He holds his Shaktis close together in embrace joyfully. His left tooth is broken. Ekadanta holds the noose, sickle, and tooth in his three hands. He shows the blessings of fearlessness by his oath, presenting the picture of Leela's I bow down. On the southern side of his house, created out of gemstones of all kinds, Ganesha is seated with Siddhi Buddhi in Sukhasana, with a crescent moon on his head, three eyes, one tooth, and large belly. He has four arms, is enchanting, and is a lover of songs and the Vedas. I meditate on that Mahodara form of Ganesha. On the southwest side, Gajanana, with his four arms, three eyes, and a crescent moon on his head, is seated on a throne studded with gemstones. He is clothed in divine robes and divine ornaments, the divine paste smeared all over his body. He wears a tilak of a splendid kasturi. His four arms are holding the noose, the goad, and one hand is blessing, fearlessness, and the other instructing his minister who earlier served as a leader of the army. All are serving the Lord, witnessing the Lord very obediently to attain reascent to the eternal being of Brahma. I meditate on Gajanana along with Siddhi and Buddhi, who is on the western side of the divine house created out of Chintamani gems. Lord of the world is seated on a gem-studded seat in Sukhasana, continuously engaged in play with Siddhi Buddhi, established in Shakti Brahma. He relishes the modak, symbolic of the world that he eats for protection of the world. I meditate on Lambodara, Gajavaktra, the four-armed. On the southeastern side is Vikata, seated with Siddhi Buddhi, wearing divine clothes and decorated in divine ornaments. He is engaged in causing play with the Shaktis, without the influence of Maya. Saura Brahma is constantly meditating on Vikata, the original seed. On the northern quarter of the divine house, he is sleeping on a thousand petals lotus along with Siddhi Buddhi, willingly resting on his trunk. Well known all over the world as the sustainer of creation, Sama Brahma stands meditating on Vignaraj Gajanana. Shiva is present as a witness, ruling over the northeastern portion of the divine house in the thousand pillared hall, observing the world of animate and inanimate things. After killing the Ahankara of the world, including that of Brahma, he dances in soulful bliss amidst the thousand Brahmas. I meditate on the smoke colored form of Gajavaktra Vinayaka, the four armed, who with his sharp eyes defeats evildoers, Gajagriva, Chantavega, who are valiant, formidable, and fierce, became friends with Vinayaka by praying to Brahmanaspati. In the third enclosure, Brahmanaspati is seated in his divine form, equipped with the third round of Ganas, with all kinds of equipments. The lords of the five kinds of weapons are present in their divine forms. The doorkeepers add to the splendor of Svananda Patanam. To the left of Swananda Patanam is Siddhipuram, created out of Chintamani and other gemstones, and looks grand. There, Chintamani is seated in Sukhasan with a smiling face on a throne in the center of the lotus in his house, which is created out of Chintamani gems, shining in brilliant light. The three-eyed one sports the moon as an ornament, a garland of champa and other fragrant flowers. He has a kasturi tilak on the forehead that appears like a lotus blossoming from the pond. His love shines brilliantly like a beautiful creeper. Chintamani's creation of a pair of ear ornaments embedded with jeweled mirrors, reflected the peculiar brilliance of his cheeks, creating a sense of longing for his creation. The divine fragrance from the spring of champa flowers reaches his nostrils, adorned by nose rings which is Chintamani's own creation. He has tucked a delicious wrap of betel leaves in his cheeks and speaks softly. Taking a bite from a ripe pomegranate, he smiles sweetly. 9 different reflections from Shri's anointed strong teeth bring a cry of amazement, while the sounds of the conch and the bell around his neck symbolize sound. The auspicious sacred thread shines brilliantly around one shoulder. The golden colored chest of Ganesha is enchanting. The four-armed one is having lotus in hand. His teeth are white as snow, and clad in white robes, he wears a blue upper garment. A diamond-studded crown shines brilliantly on his head. Chintamani has a beautiful ring with a royal emblem on it. A gem-studded necklace adorns Chintamani's neck. His trumpet is covered with jewelry of gems and precious stones. He wears a waistband studded with diamonds encased in gold. Auspiciousness is born from the center of the decoration, which is a cause of creation. The auspicious Ganesha knowledge weakens the twofold qualities of passion and ignorance and aids in memory. The secret reason for his being seated with ankles hidden beneath his knees, like a tortoise with its limbs drawn within, is that it helps in contemplation. The nails on his feet appear like lotus. Meditating on them destroys tamoguna within us. Radiance from his 2 feet are like those of a woman who draws everyone into her web with it. Hearing the tinkle of anklets on Shri's feet as he leaves his invaluable and beautiful footprints of Sindhu dust indicate his gentle departure. Seated with Brahma on Siddhipit is one who speaks charmingly and is protector of devotees. She has a kind and compassionate look, seated in the embrace of Ganesha. Serving Ganesha are the wonderful Pulakangi, Puratana, Siddhi, Shakti, Lakshmi, and Yogini. Meditating on the form of Shrinkar Rupini will bestow happiness on all devotees. The enchanting Mahabuddhipuram is located on the southern side of Svanandapuram. Studded with Chintamani gems and beautifully decorated, it is endearing to the eyes. There is a throne created in the Chintamani house. On it is Parambika, seated on a lotus made of diamonds like the brilliance of camphor, with 3 eyes and a crescent moon on the head. In the effulgence of his own self, Chintamani is sweet, seated in Swanandapatanam on a lotus surrounded by fragrance of champa with a gentle smile on his face. Chintamani sports an 8-day crescent moon placed above his forehead beautifully. Dark spots on the moon are driven away by the auspicious marks on his face, just as the toranam on the doorway. He is seated with his trunk flowing over his navel, looking detached from the corner of his eye at the new champak flowers. Ornaments on his trunk will put to shame even the brilliance of stars. Kadamba flowers are placed tastefully behind his ears. Ear ornaments generate heat like the sunshine in the universe. The Chintamani stone is marvelous to look at. 9 corals reflecting from Shri's anointed tooth appear like divine sprouts of gold illuminating the pair of tusks brightly. He is chewing on betel leaves while speaking softly with a smile that reflects the light shining in his heart. Like the unseen flowers hidden in the bud, Shri rests his chin filled with kindness in the shadow of his long trunk. Ganesha binds himself with the sacred thread thrown across one shoulder, shining bright, while a gem studded necklace adorns his neck. Vigneshwara's love is like a pearl among gems that are endearing. Above his childlike belly is a line of hair that looks like the shaft on the top of a coconut. A lac hair covers his mid body from the chest to navel, in the middle of which he has tied a golden band over white robes. He has shining temples with delightfully thick ivory tusks, clothed in yellow armor. He is seated on a thousand petal lotus with a book in hand, showing the mudra of blessings and fearlessness, enjoying the pleasant music of Veena. Chintamani carries on his play, indicated by the mudra of command in his hands. Chintamani jewel decorates the chain around his neck, which is studded with diamonds and other gems. Those blessed with Vignesh knowledge are fortunate to know about the significance of the union of the nine gems strung together. He is seated on his limbs like the insect that comes out during the rain, reminding us of living beings who lay hidden. Just like how a tortoise pulls his limbs underneath only to come out to conquer what is in front of its foot, so also the shining nails on his feet destroy the tamoguna within us. The radiance from the 2 feet exposes the fraud done by others like the sarasa bird. Hear the tinkle of the anklets on Shri's feet. The footprints created from the sindoor dust indicate the departure of the tender feet, slowly, of priceless and great beauty. Seated on Brahma Vidya Pitha is one who speaks charmingly, heart like clarified butter, who looks compassionately, embraced by Vignesha, filling their body with horripilations, are Saraswati, Kala, Vidya, and Buddhi as part of the family. Meditate on her as Omkara Rupini, who fulfills all desires of devotees, seated to the right of Ganesha and is very pleasing. Chintamani jewel is enchanting to anyone who sees it. In the house made of Chintamani jewels, Ganesha is seated on a divine throne. He is surrounded by Ganesha and the sons of the Lord, adorned with all kinds of ornaments, snow white in color and four-armed. Moda occupies the position of Yuvraj, appears blue in color, majestically occupying the position of a minister. Young Labha, whom we worship as Siddhi's son, lives on the western side of Ganakapuram, which is very enchanting. Senapati's red color is seated surrounded by 8 Vasus. Next to the four-armed is Ganaka, Guru of all Gurus, eternally. Young Laksha, the son of Buddhi, clad in white, always full of devotion, is extremely pleasing in appearance. The Panchapurna Yantra is round in shape, within which are the divine forms, as a triangle within a square. They are all beloved of Brahma and are enjoying Svananda as different kinds of knowledge and Lord's favorite being yoga. He stands impressively with his Ganas, Shaktis, and Kinkaras. In the northeast is the divine corner of the Lord's house. Atikal, Mahakal, Kal, and Vigna Ganas, who are worshipped by all living across the 4 worlds, are located here. In the western corner, I worship the enchanting goddesses Vainayaki, Mayura, and Vidya in their own forms. I worship Avidya, Buddhi, and Mahamaya as well. On the back side is a triangular area which is a place where Ganesha was born from dirt. People are singing delightful songs to Pushtisha as they walk on the hexagonal path in whose 6 corners are Moda, Pramoda, Sumukha, Durmukha, Avigna, and Vigna. They are standing along with their Shaktis and Ganas. Lord of Swananda Ganesh is pleased with them as his best messengers. At the junctions of the hexagonal place are bodyguards who keep the all-knowing Mahasiddhi pleased. Suprabhuta, Suvakrita, Vamana, Shankafala, Ugra, Kumbodara, Giridanda, and Bhairava. They are standing on the 8 petals of the lotus and are worshipped as ministers. Varada, Veera, Lamba, Ushtam, Hastivaktram, Vinayaka, Ekadanta, Tundila, Gananayaka, Vignesha, Gajakarna. The food-loving Mahodara, Shura, Mahashura, Chipraprasada, and Vikata are the 16 chieftains who are worshipped by the army. Standing in the first enclosure are Shaktis and the 15 Varna Devas who worship along with Shaktis. In the second round are Shastra Devas admirably. The third round are Astras whom we worship in the first corridor are Laksha, Labha, Kruraka for the protection of ramparts of Buddhi and Gananatha. Brahma, Shankara, Vishnu, Surya and Gajavaktra are standing as protectors of the ramparts of the second corridor. At the doors of the third corridor are Shura, Mahashura, Bala, Prabhala, Veera, Mahavira, Jaya and Vijaya. This is the Avarana Stotra of Ganesha Paramatman. Worship Ganapa with devotion and chant the Stotra with feeling, and one will be able to enjoy everything and in the end attain Brahmapada. Chant the single lettered mantra of Gananatha 16 times a day, or in the morning, afternoon, and evening daily, or during the 6 kalas. This will fill the Ganapa with devotion. He will attain all the 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, serially, and in the end attain the abode of Ganesha. This is the Avana Stotra is contained in the 12th chapter of the Jnanasara in the Vinayaka Rahasya. This refers to the period earlier to Siddhi and Buddhi. Jai Gajanana.